Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. So it's Friday night right now. It's about 9:30, and I had the day off until about 6 o'clock. I just had to go in and do about 3 hours of work. So it's about 9:30 right now, and I'm happy to be home. This week has been crazy, crazy busy, but finally I actually have a little bit of a break, and I'm so happy about that. I'm sitting back enjoying a nice little beer out of my beer mug that I love so much, Das Boot. I feel like it's much well deserved, and I'm gonna enjoy it. So, decided to come here and do another video. It's been a really long time since I've done a gaming memories video, and if you look back on my channel, I've done, I think, 3 gaming memories videos. Kind of just an overview of gaming for me and how it has brought me up to today. In the last video, it brought me basically to the point of being through high school and college and what gaming was like for me there. And there was a big stretch of time where I didn't do a whole lot of gaming, especially one-player gaming, which is primarily what I like to do. So gaming took a back seat for me. I spent a lot of time playing multiplayer games, if I did play anything at all, pretty much like Mario Kart, Smash Brothers, things like that. And I was kind of just focused on doing other things in my life. And the way that gaming came back to me was very interesting. Um, I was working in Michigan at the time. I was living in Jackson, and I was a social worker. I had been a social worker for about 3 years at the time, I think. This was probably 2012 or 2013. Probably 2013. So, actually, I was working at the time, and I was with a client who wanted to go to a video game store. He was into gaming, and I hadn't touched gaming seriously for quite a while. I was just involved in other things, and I had been really busy through college, and um, but things were kind of slowing down in my life. I had gotten married, and I had actually injured my shoulder, so that kind of hampered some of my other hobbies that I had been into up to that point. So it was kind of funny how it just kind of all came together in this perfect synchronization, and it just kind of presented itself to me, and here I am, you know, right here. So I don't know. It was like, it's like a drug addict though. It's like I got that hit, and I was like, oh, I remember. I forgot all about this, you know. So I walk into this game store with this client of mine who was looking for something. I don't even know what. And something caught my eye on the shelf that I was not expecting. And that was this right here, Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes for the Nintendo GameCube. Now, this is a remake of Metal Gear Solid that was on the PlayStation, and it's got updated graphics. It kind of looks a lot like Metal Gear Solid 2 on the PlayStation 2 did, and it just so happened that I didn't have any game consoles of my own from way back, and somehow there had been a GameCube at my family's house that someone, like a friend, had come over and left it there, and nobody really knew how to get it back to them. Nobody really cared about having it themselves, and it had just kind of been sitting at the house for a long time. And so somehow, I'm surprised actually that I even took it, because I must have taken it for Mario Kart. That's probably what I did. I probably thought that, you know, maybe I would want to play Mario Kart on it, because Mario Kart did come with it, so that was really cool. So that was sitting in my closet at my new apartment where my wife and I were living at the time. So the fact that Metal Gear Solid was on Nintendo GameCube, something that I did not know, I had no idea. This game had been out for probably 6 years or so at the time, and like if I had been into gaming, I would have totally known about it. I would have grabbed it, played it, would have loved it. But I had no previous recollection of it at all. So walking in and seeing that, I was like, Metal Gear Solid, wow. I haven't played that game in a really long time, huh? that's a short game. It doesn't take a whole lot of commitment. You know, it's like 6 to 12 hours depending on how you play, and you know. So I was like, that's like a super low commitment. I could play through that actually. I do have a GameCube at home, huh? So I ended up buying the game. Totally just couldn't believe that I did that. And it's kind of a blur to me, but I know I went back at some point and I got the GameCube out of the closet and hooked it all up and played through Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes. And the game was really good. It was classic Metal Gear Solid with the updated graphics, which especially to me coming back into gaming because I hadn't been a part of it, like GameCube graphics to me were still like jaw dropping. Like I hadn't been playing PS3 and Xbox 360, and I certainly, wasn't like hopping onto like the new consoles. Like I don't even know if the PS4 was out at that time, but it was probably right around the corner if it wasn't. Um, so to me, that was like really really cool to get to play a PlayStation One game on the Nintendo GameCube, and doing further research, they had actually gone back and like redone everything. There were extra cutscenes added, which were honestly a little bit out of place. I think they kind of felt like Matrix. Sorry, burping a little bit from my beer. They kind of felt like Matrix style scenes where suddenly like Solid Snake would be jumping like flipping in the air and dodging bullets, kind of like it was just a little bit different than anything that had been in Metal Gear Solid, um, the original on the PlayStation. But I mean, they were cool enough. They were fine. It's not like I hated them. Um, and there was a big change to the gameplay in that there was a first person mode, which changed a lot because like, I mean, that was pretty the gameplay on the PlayStation 1 when it came to games like that was just different. It was kind of more like tank controls. Metal Gear Solid, the original, was kind of a hybrid because like the way that you would aim was more like tank controls. Like Snake would put it up and there was a little red dot, and you would see him in third person, spinning around, and when the red dot hit the enemy, you would just know that you were able to shoot him. So in this was totally weird that you were able to get into first person mode when you were going to shoot. It was third person otherwise, just like it had been, but so yeah, it was changed a little bit. Anyways, though, obviously something got me hooked because like I had a really good time, and I couldn't believe again it was like the story of Metal Gear Solid I had forgotten. Um, there were just so many cool things. I mean, Otacon as a character, Sniper Wolf is one of my favorite bad people in a video game ever. Psycho Mantis also, the relationship between Snake and Meryl, between Snake and Liquid. There was just so much awesome shit, and I just had a ton of fun, and it just kind of hit me, and yeah, from that point on, at that point then, I remember I got my tax return from work, and it was a lot more than I was expecting. I don't even know. I didn't have a lot of expenses at the time, and it was just kind of like, this is great. I just got like an awesomely huge check. I'm gonna go buy a PlayStation 3. So that's what I did. I went and bought a PS3, the super slim 500 gigabyte version, and a copy of Final Fantasy 13. And I think I got like two other games that I ended up not really liking that much. But yeah, Final Fantasy 13 I did play and I enjoyed it, for the most part. Um, so it was fun. It was definitely fun. And yeah, I wish I had kept that console, honestly. I ended up selling it for some stupid reason. I thought that I wanted the old PS3 that was backwards compatible with PS2 games, and that's what I ended up buying. And I had that for a couple of years, and it did serve me well. But the thing got so freaking loud. Like, it was just unbearable to me, anyways. Like, at the end, I couldn't play anything on it because I was just like, this thing is so freaking loud. And I tried everything like cleaning it and whatever, and I think that it's just that console. it's a big freaking tank. You know, it's huge. It's got so much to it. Like they stripped out so much for the later versions of the PS3. So anyways, I ended up selling that, and currently I don't own a PS3. I pick up PS3 games all the time, as if I do, but you know, I definitely will buy a PS3. I've seen there are brand new ones still on eBay. I would like to get a brand new one because I'd like to have one that doesn't have any dust or hair in it, no issues, no previous, you know, I don't know. That would be really, really cool. I definitely need to get one because I've been wanting to play some like Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas. There's a lot of games on that system that I still have to play that I missed because I wasn't into that generation. So, um, anyways, so that was really cool. And obviously from that point on, like, things just accelerated. Um, yeah, to this. To me, like, owning not every system for by far, but you know all the ones that are important to me. So it's been really cool and it's been really fun and it's been a good experience. And I honestly like playing games the way I do now. I kind of am surprised that I was able to leave them and that I had the desire to just like that I had it's not that I had the desire to leave. I just lost the desire to play. So I found that again and I love it. And I don't know. You know, who knows what the future holds. I don't know how long I'll be this heavy into gaming. I don't know if things will change and maybe I'll get more heavy into other hobbies. When I get into a hobby, I have a tendency to kind of go full tilt. And I really am enjoying it though right now. I enjoy learning more about just the history of gaming. I like listening to other gamers on YouTube. I like talking about games. I like collecting games. I like playing games. There's just a whole lot to this hobby, and you know, it makes me happy. Like not much else does. You know, it's one of those things. My approach to gaming is like it's purely for fun. Like if gaming stops being fun to you, then you're doing it wrong, and you need to stop. Like people blow my mind in this hobby. Like they get so like bent out of shape about stuff, and they get mad about stuff, and they get like you know egotistical about stuff, and they start comparing themselves to other people, and they start comparing their collections to other people, and they start like getting jealous and like all this stuff, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like no, stop, like don't, you know, like this is my fun safe zone, you know. So that's my take on it. I know everybody's got their own path, but to me, like there's a lot of other things in life to be stressed out about. Gaming is not one of them for me. I like this is for fun. This is like what I do to chill out and just like gaming hits me like in a deep way. Like I love the stories and I love the characters and I just think that there's a lot of beauty to it and I don't know. I there's a passion for it for me, and I'll only do it as long as I'm passionate about it. If I lose the passion for gaming, if I lose the passion for collecting, I'm not gonna keep doing it. Like I don't care. You know, I definitely won't ever sell the things I've already bought. That's something that I've made a rule for myself. Unless it's like a double or if you know something like that. Like it has to be something like I bought a lot of games and you know I decided that I don't want these. But like in general, for the most part, I'm keeping everything. And if I get out of gaming, I'll stick it in storage, and then maybe 5 or 10 years later, I'll get back into it. You know, so I've learned my lesson. Don't get out of something completely just because you're not at the moment feeling intrigued by it, especially something that has touched you this much and in this way. So this capacity. I hope that you guys are having a good Friday night. I'm gonna finish up this beer and play some Skyrim and maybe have another. Ooh. So I'm just really looking forward to this weekend when I don't have to study and I don't have to do a whole lot of work. So it's pretty awesome. All right, guys, take it easy. Peace out. Jebba Game and Jaws. Later.